Cindy, welcome back to Studioloo. So today I am getting a start on these journals. I haven't put the signatures in, but what I thought we could do is just kind of get started on creating the pockets and such on the cover. So this one I kind of got to a relatively finished state today so that I can just kind of get it ready as like a prototype for one of the styles that I'm planning to do. So I created this. I'm using a lot of fabric elements in these, I think. And then I did an upper pocket here and then the back patchwork pocket. So that's what I'd like to make today, is the patchwork pockets. So let's just get started on those. I did a little bit of work ahead of time, not a ton, but a little bit, just to kind of get started. I did finish one more, and I'm working on a second inside pocket for this journal for in here, so that's coming along. But I think let's just make these because they're a lot of fun, and that's kind of the prep work that I did today. So this one doesn't need one because it's got a pocket on back already, and so this will be the next one. Just set these ones aside here and we'll work on this one. So let's make sure we have the journal the right side up, and we do. So what we will cover will be this stuff. Too bad I'm going to lose all this stuff, but c'est la vie. That's all part of the magic of the process. You have to let things go. So I am using actually just pages from this old book as kind of my basis for making these back pockets. So this project involves a bit of paper, a bit of gluing, fabric, and then of course some stitching. So I won't do the stitching on camera, but I'll explain it to you as I go. It's not rocket science. It's very basic straight stitch and zigzag stitch, because we're just trying to make like kind of a quilted look. So let me see. I don't know if I showed, let me hold this up a little bit for you so you can see it a little closer to the camera. So see, it is stitched around, actually a single stitch. Then once I have all the fabrics on, I'm doing them kind of in squares, and then I just stitch all of the lines with a zigzag, so you're making kind of like a little patchwork quilt. And then when I attach it to the journal itself, I'm zigzagging it just because I like how that looks. So yeah, this is again that kind of flea market feel that I'm going for. Oops. So I start with just folding this book page in half, and earlier today I did some cutting up of scrap fabrics, so just things that I've got hanging around from other projects. So that's how I am working on these journals, is just using up things and using a lot of vintage stuff that I've been hoarding. I plan to do a lot of that on the inside of the journals as well. So like literally using up, you know, ephemera that I make and some vintage ephemera. I started making a list today of the different kinds of things that I want to make for these journals. So I'll probably just do a bunch of like kind of craft along with me videos just to keep it kind of interesting. Yeah, that one can go there. And it's okay if they overhang. I'll just trim the excess off. Not too concerned. And I'm really trying to go for just like nice bright colors, because that's just how I'm feeling these days. Just bright, sunshiny kind of colors. Yeah, I had a very busy work day today. It was like a little bit cuckoo. I had customer presentation that I had to do, which made it so that I couldn't attend some of this ongoing endless training that we're being given at my job. And that means that I missed out on a whole day of that training because I really don't have a choice. And I know it's all going to end in me having to write another exam, to which I haven't even written the first exam yet because I had to postpone it. So I've postponed it for 2 weeks so that I can get caught up from having been out of the office and sick with my appendix situation. So I'm just going to be very busy. I'm kind of like Oh, is it vacation time yet? I'm so tired. Okay, so we have covered this one, all good. So then I'm just going to back this now with some cardstock. I have a ton of like this burgundy. I'm just going to put a little glue in there to keep this together. This burgundy cardstock that I got in this big bag of like paper. And it's not really something that I want to use a whole lot. It's kind of a color that I don't really think I'll use much. I mean, maybe in some things, but I have so much of it, it's just a little bit extra. So I thought I would use it for backing this because I want it to have a nice, strong, smooth backing. So that when I'm, you know, putting a journal card or a tag inside there, it's not going to be like, you know, there won't be any loose kind of book page that's delicate that could break or anything like that. And I thought about backing it with fabric, but I just felt like it would be a lot of work to do that. So having to glue more and more fabric and you wouldn't even get to see it. So we might as well just use up what we have, and that will be good. There we go. Okay. So now it's time to stitch that one. So I'm just going to pause you for just a second while I stitch it, because these are really cute, and I think you will see that once I get it all stitched. And yeah, I will be right back after I just snip this. And I'm going to, again, I'll just show you real quick. So I'm going to single stitch around the edge just to secure it all. Then I'm going to go over it with a zigzag stitch down all of the joining lines where these pieces are, so that it's going to be like a patchwork quilt essentially. So be right back. Okay, I'm back and we have stitched this on. Now what I do when I'm stitching is I kind of hop all around, so I'm left with all of these kind of connected threads that go from one spot to another. I do tend to do a back stitch at the beginning and end of every spot that I'm stitching so that they don't undo. So then I just snip all of those off the back, and then the front, we have a couple more. There we go. Okay, so then we have a pocket. So journal is here, and I'll just take these pages out, set them aside. Okay, so then this is going to go on here. So I'm just going to go stitch that on, and I will be back again. Okay, so this is all stitched on now, and I just noticed another thread in the middle there. Then I need to trim the threads on the edges of the pocket. Okay, so this project was actually making me think about how fun it might be to do some fabric postcards in the same manner, just little patchwork kind of postcards. But I mean, really any kind of ephemera would just be really beautiful like that. You know, it's just a gorgeous way to use up your scraps. And then I'll show you. So these will hold this, and that'll be on the back of the journal. Super cute. So that one is done. Now, what I'm also going to do, but I won't do it in this video, is that kind of side pocket here and then a triangle pocket up here. But this video, I think I'm just going to focus on these little quilted friends. Okay, get that done. Then next we have this journal. Okay, so take the pages out. Okay, again, just set the journal aside here and grab a book page. Fold it in half, then add a little bit of glue in between to just keep it together. And then I'll cover the whole top of this surface in glue. Actually, let me put my gluey page down here so that I'm not getting glue all over the place. Okay. And then our little squares. So I was watching Pink Oddbird's latest video today. She made a really cool journal, like a gate style kind of journal. Super fun and creative. It's like basically like 2 journals in one. I have like kind of another idea that's sort of similar to that, but not really. I'll probably come out with it a little bit later, but I have done something a little bit similar, but not really again. I guess I'm just thinking about when you sort of combine like 2 books into one. I did something like that with my Sidewinder journals. They were a lot of fun to make. So I always like those kind of like 2 books in one kind of journal. So the way that the journal was made on Pink Oddbird's channel was really cool, because it was like she built the whole cover herself. So there's like a back cover, and then a spine like on either side, and 2 covers, and then they would gate close together, so you'd open it up and sort of have 2 books. Like, it was really neat. So if you aren't already subscribed to her, you don't know about Pink Oddbird, check her out, because she's so creative and cool. I really like her work. So now we will snip this extra fabric, this excess off the edge here. Alrighty, those are nice little scraps to throw into my little crumbs pile to make more of those little little crumbs kind of fabric covers that I make with interfacing. Okay, so that'll fit there. Back this again in this burgundy cardstock. Okay. It's quite funny. Today my husband had a dentist appointment for his dental cleaning, so I spent the late afternoon with the kiddos while he went to his dentist appointment, and usually he's with them at that time, and they tend to get like really rowdy in the afternoon. Like between lunch and dinner is kind of like the witching hour. And so it was so funny. I ended up coming upstairs so that he could get ready to go, and there was a bit of a calamity going on. My son was like crying and kind of sleepy, and my daughter was just bored, and so then I gave them like a snack, and they both fell asleep, and they slept for 2.5 hours, which was the entire time that my husband was gone from his dentist appointment. And I had sent him a picture like as he was driving there, and he's like, what is going on? And then he comes home and they're still sleeping. He was like, oh my gosh, I don't understand how you create this, like, you know, sleeping beauty scenario. But for me, it's like wild hour every hour of the day. So, oh well. Okay, I'm going to stitch this one. Be right back. Okay, I'm back with this one. So this one, I was too stressed out to put it on the back and cover up this butterfly and all this fun like yellow text and stuff. I just was like, I don't want to lose that. So I don't know if I'll put anything on the outside back of this one. I think I might put something on the outside front instead, like up here maybe. But I'll come back to that later. So what I did was I put it on the inside. So we have that same pocket. It's still there. It still will hold something. It's just on the inside this time. So instead of a triangle pocket up here, I mean, maybe I could do that on this side or something. I don't know. I'm very attached to the images on the back of this for some reason. But yeah, that's that. Okay, so I think we have time to do one more, and then I will probably wrap this video. It might be a little bit of a shorter video. I have no concept of time right now because I'm kind of like in between stuff that I have to do, but I wanted to make a video. I also just wanted to take a bit of time to like do stuff today that isn't, sorry, glue, that isn't like, you know, taxing of my my brain too much. I just wanted to do a little bit of relaxing kind of making. So just using up the last of this glue that gets kind of caught in the top of the glue bottle. I just really hate wasting it. It's like, why is there so much glue going to waste? So I don't want to do that. But I'm going to need another glue stick anyways because I have more gluing to do. There we go. Okay, so let's get started with the little bits here. Oh, and I should get the journal out that I'm making this for. That will help me to be inspired to use certain colors or whatnot. So I'll take the pages out and just set them aside. And this one I think will be fine. I will cover up these ducks and maybe lose Always Beautiful, but that's okay. I'm not as attached to that. Okay. Here. Whoops. I just like to add a little bit of glue directly on the fabric itself when I'm setting it on top of others. So like this one will be going this way. Do I want to go that way maybe? Yeah. And then I'll have to put another one in the center there to get that little bit. Maybe this one, it's small. So I'm feeling good using up a bunch of stuff. Oh, I realized I just used the same, this is the same pattern fabric. It can't be there. You don't want the same fabrics touching. It's kind of the rule that I'm using. All right, and one more for the center. Maybe a pink one or a green one. Maybe this little green one. I'm gonna just cut it down to size a little bit because we don't need that huge piece. And this is the kind of project where you're going to glue a bunch of strings to your fingers, as many things that I do. So you end up with all this glue and string on your fingers. But that's okay. The nice thing about glue from a glue stick is it rinses off so easily. So it's not like terrible to deal with. I guess I will trim. And you know, you could leave these these edges on if you were going for like a more sort of shabby kind of fabric look, because they aren't really going to change. They've already been torn and frayed as much as what they will, and so yeah, they're not going to impact anything. If you wanted it to be more kind of shabby, you could leave it that way. Okay, we got one more piece of this stuff here. Okay, just trim. Okay, it's stitching time again. I will go and do that, and I'll be back with the final reveal for this last journal. Okay, so pocket is done, and on the back of this journal, and it's going to be very fun. So yeah, I really like how these look. I like how the flattening of the stitches like over the edges happens. I think it's really fun and scrappy, and like I definitely feel very flea market with this. I think You know, I picture just a beautiful like rack of just, you know, randomly made clothing, quilts that grandma's somewhere made from old kids' clothes, and I think it's really the aesthetic for these journals that I'm going for. So I'm pretty happy about it. I like it a lot. So we finished up a few. I have a few more to go. But I'm not going to do them right now. I will come back to you probably with them finished and some other projects we'll get started on. I started to make a list today of the different kinds of ephemera that I plan to make for these journals, like just different kind of fun projects, and I thought I would probably share the process of doing those with you in videos. If there's anything that you're interested in seeing done, like a kind of ephemera, or you have an idea, let me know. I have a few things that are kind of cooking that I'll show you where I'm going with some of the things. So first of all, I'm going to be making altered playing card journal tags. I've got these great big huge playing cards, so that's one thing I'm going to do. Then this is a use it up exercise. I have these totally ugly huge like orange card envelopes, so we are going to make those beautiful. I obviously want to do something with book pages, and also I have these. These are like big kind of separating file folders, and they've got these indentations in them from something. I found these I bought like one of those cases, like those vintage 45 vinyl record cases, and they had a whole bunch of these inside in between like the record sleeves. So I took them out and I thought I want to use them for journals. So I've got a couple ideas like what I want to do with these. So that will be some of the projects that I plan to do. But if you have any ideas or you want to see anything kind of cool, these journals are a great way to make a lot of different ephemera because I want to stuff them. I think they'd be a lot of fun. I want to make like kind of a pre-made ephemera filled journal that someone could take on vacation and have a lot of fun just, you know, writing down what's going on each day, sticking in pictures and that kind of thing. So that's where I'm going with this. So yeah, for now I am going to go and figure out some dinner. I hope you have a really lovely day and that your Monday was productive. So take care. We'll talk again soon. My social media information's down below in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care.